in action. Rules that keep things going smoothly and fairly. Rules that help us get where we're going. Help us work together, play together, and live together. Of course, in small groups, we sometimes get along without rules.
But there aren't any loud noises, just the sounds of working. We call these work sounds. Listen.
When many of us play together, rules make the game. Rules help us play fair with each other, so all can enjoy the game. Rules that apply equally to all. It's up to each one of us to know the rules and follow them.
Why do you suppose this room is so quiet? Perhaps we can learn from the teacher.
At New York's Madison Square Garden, a city college quintet faces five fast and fancy wet feet from the University of Oregon. It's the opening contest of an intersectional doubleheader, and New York draws 2 points worth of first blood.
And you know, we have found that knowing when to be quiet is a part of growing up.
16,000 fans watch the boys from the Pacific Coast as they try to stem the onslaught of city college fever. But it's all over when Silverstein shoots off the hardwood, decades the ball, and the ball game for CCNY 38-36.
Because a quiet room helps all of us learn.
How do you do it?
Well, each of us knows how to work quietly. That's very important.
But the evening sports sport is a long way from the locker room. In the second game, a team of Northwestern Wildcats is matched against St. John's University of Brooklyn. The lads from Illinois are off to a springboard start when Bob Coble eases Allen into the basket to take the lead.
Do you think you could walk this quietly? Listen to this work sound.
But tribal warfare comes to the gymnasium as the St. John's Indians retaliate with 2 points. From now on, the game is touch and go, with 10 men helping to get it there. A beautiful display of teamwork, and Northwestern gets in the number column with sharp shooting Bob Coble doing the honors.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Learn the Game, where you learn if you got an F for effort. And today we're going to be talking about the feats of Wilt Chamberlain, his physical feats, particularly. Did Wilt Chamberlain have a 50-inch vertical? But before we get into that, let's welcome Politicus Rex. How are you today, sir?
All right. Another horrible day in eastern North Carolina.
Well, it's pretty beautiful out here in Hawaii. Haven't really touched grass today, but at the same time, I can see that it's pretty nice out. It typically is. Anyway, Wilt Chamberlain, known for his fantastic feats of strength, his ability to run, jump, push, clang, pull, however, just a athletic person in totality, let alone his skill in the basketball court. What's the deal with this 50-inch vertical? Is it true? Was Wilt Chamberlain able to jump 50 inches straight off the ground?
No. No. That's just like most of the exaggerations made about him. It's completely unrealistic. I mean, you just... all you do is, just the simple math of it. Okay. That means jumping straight up, his head would be over a foot above the rim. Okay.
Yeah.
He was an amazing athlete, all-time great athlete, all-time great basketball player. But it wasn't me playing on my kid's Nerf hoop. Okay. It's,
Yeah.
it's like he was 7'1", Do the math. 50-inch vertical means the top of his head is what, 11'3"? That's the top of the box on the backboard.
Mm-hmm.
That jumping, no. Yeah. That means he could just jump straight up, grab the top of the backboard, and do pull-ups.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. Everyone always throws extra inches in there and everything. They do the same with Jordan. They did the same with Dominique. Did the same with Daryl Griffith. I mean, it's something that's always done. The thing that's different is back in Wilt's time, you didn't have a whole lot of video. So these claims would be made, not all by him, but he was a smart businessman. He understood his image. And when somebody would come to him and lay out some superlative number for some athletic achievement, he would always answer, yeah, I did that. Because he was smart. Keep his name and, keep the publicity going. Because this is back before they made literally hundreds of millions of dollars. So,
Yeah.
it's publicity, self-promotion. And he didn't, very few of the exaggerations about him, he started. In fact, none of them that I'm aware of, he actually said himself, like started it. It's other people would say it, that they had heard it, ask him if it was true, and he just never denied them.
The only one that I can...
2 generations later, it's mythology.
The only one that I can think of that he may have started, or he at least was encouraged and put his John Hancock on it, was the claim that he had slept with 20,000 women.
No, he did not start that. That was a writer who was writing a book about Wilt and asked him how many women he had been with. And Wilt, who was always a gentleman, that is undeniable. He always carried himself very politely, refused to give a number. And refused. They're not numbers. They're women. These are people I know. There's no number. And he goes, well, what is it? 1,000, 10,000, 20,000. And he goes, yeah, 20,000. Yeah. And so the guy put it in the book. If you follow more recent history with, there was a thing back with the whole Lance Armstrong saga where there was a quote by Greg LeMond where he said, if Lance is clean, it's the greatest story ever. And if it's false, it's the biggest fraud ever. Well, he didn't actually say that. He was being questioned by an interviewer who was a former pro bike racer who was writing a book, who was the guy that outed Armstrong. And that was a combined answer from multiple different questions. And he intentionally misquoted it and put it down to one quote when it was never said like that. They asked him, what do you think of Lance's, comeback in the Tours de France? And he said, it's great. It's the greatest story ever, greatest sports story ever. And then the guy brought up, said, well, but what if he's cheating? What if he's cheating? What if there's something going on behind the scenes? And then he said, well, then I guess you could call it the biggest fraud ever. And the dude took it and said that, or would you consider it the biggest fraud ever if he was caught cheating? And he agreed and said, yeah. And then they attributed the quote to LeMond. and then Lance went and wrecked Le Mans' business.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's like the same thing. It's when people would ask how many women. Well, I don't want to say, and I don't know a number. I didn't keep tabs of numbers and all that. And then the guy just says, "Well, I mean, give me an estimate. Was it 1,000? Was it 5,000? Was it 20,000?" And he just said, "Yeah, all right, yeah, 20,000, whatever." And he even says in an interview that literally, like, after he said it, he thought, "Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have agreed to that."
Yeah. Well, with this 50-inch vertical, is there any version of outside of him just playing where people tried to make it a realistic claim? In respect to, would he do some jumping exhibitions with the Harlem Globetrotters? I know that he was a track and field athlete. Was there anything as he became more of a prominent national figure that specifically showed his jumping capability, or was it more so just, oh, he looks like he can jump really high when he plays basketball? And then the reputation of him being a track and field athlete.
No, we have measurements. Okay, we have them.
Okay.
We basically know. It's just the exaggerations across the board lifts up all of them, right? Like you'll hear people say, "Yeah, he had a 50-inch vertical leap. Oh, he was a high jump champion." And all this. Well, he won the Big 8 championship one year in the high jump. A conference championship. Now, that's a fantastic achievement, especially for someone whose main thing is a different sport, right?
Yeah.
As a second sport, to have a conference championship at the college level in anything is amazing. That's an amazing athlete. But they have to go a step farther and say, "Oh, well, he was an Olympic level track and field star." No, he wasn't. Bill Russell was.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Russell out high jumped Wilt. Bill Russell was ranked number 2 in the entire country in 1956, qualified for the 56 Olympics for the high jump. But at the time, the U.S. Olympic Committee had rules in place that you could only participate in one sport. That way, more athletes get to go. You're not taking someone's spot by doing multiple sports. You're only allowed to go for one sport. Obviously, he was the main man on the basketball team, so he did not go for the high jump, but he did qualify, and he high jumped higher than Wilt. But no one talks about Bill Russell's athleticism and how extreme it was and how high he could jump. He could out jump Wilt. Do you hear anyone saying Bill Russell had a 50-inch vertical?
No, they say that he couldn't play basketball in today's NBA. That's typically what I hear about Bill Russell.
Yeah, which is just like that's laughable to anyone who actually knows the sport. But with Wilt, I mean, we know what his high jump was, right? 6'6" was his high jump. 6'6".
Yeah.
He's 7'1". Okay. Common sense tell you if he had a 50-inch vertical, he would have been high jumping 8 feet. Right? 7 feet at least.
Mm-hmm.
In doing it as a hurdle. If you have a 50-inch vertical, you're hurdling 6'6".
Yeah.
You're not diving over the bar. You're literally running and hurdling it and can keep running. Because if he's 7 foot, then that means his inseam is at least 3.5 feet. And if he has a 4 foot plus vertical leap, well, that's over 7 feet right there. Just hopping over it. So it's all obviously incorrect. And I even have numbers here of actual numbers that were recorded for Wilt. Now, these were actually measured. These are actual measurements literally done on Wilt. His standing reach was 9'6".
That's humongous.
Yeah. And his max reach was 13.3.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Okay, well, that's under 4 feet. So obviously his vertical was not 50.
Yeah.
Because the max reach would have been about 7 inches higher.
So do you think, I was listening, but I didn't do the math behind it. It sounded about, around 4 feet. You're saying it's less than 4 feet. How many inches
About
is it on
42
the
inches. It's
42 inches?
Realistically, it was about 42 inches at his athletic prime.
Yeah. That's still,
It's still
obviously,
crazy high. I
yeah.
mean, both David Robinson and Patrick Ewing had 39-inch verticals.
Yeah.
So it's in the realm of complete understanding. Yeah, he was a better athlete than they were. And his vertical was about 3 inches higher, and he's roughly, when he was young, about the same size as those guys. Ewing
Yeah.
was 7 foot, had the huge long arms like Wilt. And then Robinson was 7'1", which is how tall Wilt was. So, yeah, 39, 42, that's all completely real. I think, who is it? I think there's actually I think DeAndre Jordan also had in his prime, like a 40, 42-inch vertical as well. I mean, it's not unheard of. The thing that made it so incredible with Wilt was that he was doing it in chucks, and his overall size and athleticism in addition to that vertical.
Yeah. On a sidebar, how many, like just the shoes, if you were to change out the shoes, no more hypotheticals than that. If you gave him some modern sneakers, how many more inches higher do you think Wilt Chamberlain would have been able to jump back then?
It doesn't make that much of a difference. It's like the Toby Keith song. What is it? I'm as good once as I ever was. It doesn't change your max. By having better foot equipment, better shoes, better, the type of the compression socks and that type of stuff, it doesn't make you jump higher. It makes you jump your human limit more often.
Yeah.
Less wear and tear. If the guys today were still playing in chucks, no one would be playing 20 years.
Yeah.
No. Because the pounding on your feet and your knees that's what ended guys' careers back in the day.
Yeah.
The beating that their bodies took because of the lack of scientific equipment. And that's what prolongs players today. Is the nutrition, the fitness, the equipment. They're able to maintain their careers longer, less debilitating injuries. Back in the day, guys would play 10 years, would be beaten to hell and retire.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, and that's like it. And again, I just added that one aspect on it. But obviously there'd be more to it than that. Like you were saying with the conditioning, all the other things that would come along with having those shoes if you tried to match the times with the equipment. With Wilt Chamberlain in his 50-inch vertical, I know we were talking about his strength, being him making the claim that he could bench press 500 pounds. Now, he said he could do that when he played in an interview. You're saying that he was unable to do it when he played. I don't know. I just even looking at him when he was larger in the 70s versus when he was a younger man, when he was playing for the LA Lakers, he looked like he had the frame where he could have bench pressed 500 pounds. He looked like he had a bigger chest, uh,
Yeah, he was
bigger
huge.
shoulders.
I saw
Yeah,
him. I saw him. He was huge. I've seen
yeah,
him. I've seen Shaquille. I've seen Mark Eaton. I've seen all of them in person. And Wilt was bigger. Now, I'm
yeah,
not saying taller. I'm saying bigger. His
yeah,
shoulders were so wide, and he had a V taper. That's the thing that none of these other guys. If you look at any of these other huge NBA players, big, muscular NBA players, they don't have V tapers. They're just big. They're big human. They're huge human beings.
yeah.
Wilt had a tiny waist, big
Hmm.
wide shoulders. He looked like a superhero. But the thing
Yeah,
is, he didn't start lifting weights until 1970 when he hurt his knee, and he was out for most of the 69-70 season.
yeah, yeah,
Rehabbing the knee is when he got into weightlifting down at World's Gym and Gold's Gym and Venice Beach and all that. And Arnold was just coming to the U.S. then. People don't realize they always want to quote Arnold and say, well, Arnold said he could do this, and Arnold said he could do that, so it has to be true. Okay, well, Arnold didn't meet him until 10 years later. Okay?
yeah,
After 10 years of lifting, he was able to do those things. Okay?
yeah,
He just started powerlifting in 1970.
yeah,
So you're a big guy. You've lifted weights before, obviously. You don't just walk into a bench press and can just bench press nearly twice your weight. You have to know the technique. You have to know the proper way of doing it first. Nobody can just go in and just push the bar up. It doesn't work that way.
yeah. No, the reason why I think that even when he was playing, now again, if he started in 1970, and he did it for 2 years as a world class athlete, I think it's really, I think it's very feasible, but that by the 1972 season, I know that's not, he played another year after that, but
Yeah.
the point of it is that I think it's realistic that he was able to bench press 500 pounds in a couple of years being
Oh,
a
yeah, I'm
world
sure
class
he's probably
athlete.
in the realm, of course, but we have no
Yeah,
actual eyewitness proof of it until 10 years later.
gotcha. Yeah,
But see, what a lot of people misconstrue with Wilt's abilities is they talk about, well, he had 4.6 speed in the 40. Yes, he did. They say, oh, he had this huge vertical leap. Well, yeah, he really could jump high. They said that he won this and that and the other in these other sports. He won localized competitions. He never won a national championship in any of them. They'll say, oh, he's a Hall of Famer in volleyball. He's one of the greatest volleyball players ever. Well, now he's in the Volleyball Hall of Fame, absolutely, as a contributor. It specifically says contributor on his plaque, not player. Okay, now he was a great volleyball player, but he's in the Hall of Fame as a contributor.
yeah,
Right? But they put all these things together and say he could bench press 600 pounds and 20,000 women and huge vertical, like he was doing all of them in one day. And it's like, no,
yeah,
we're talking about a lifetime. Okay, we're
yeah,
talking about a lifetime. He accomplished all these things, but just like his playing career, when he scored 100 points, grabbed 55 rebounds, led the league in field goal percentage, rebounding, and scoring, and then he said, and he led the league in assists. Yeah, but he didn't do it all at one time. He would focus on something and dominate at that one thing, but he didn't do it all at once. And that's where a lot of fans, they don't understand, and you've heard me say this on numerous occasions, fans don't understand chronology.
yeah,
They look back and they look at a past player's career as one moment in time. And like they did all this stuff at the same time.
yeah,
And that's not what happened with Wilt. He would focus on something, perfect it, excel at it, prove to everyone he could do it, and then he'd go on to something else.
Yeah.
That's what he did through his entire life. He sat there and he did a Volkswagen commercial. And
I've seen that one, yeah.
yeah, and people were like, wow, he's actually pretty good at talking to the camera. So then he's in an episode of a TV show called Emergency, where he's in a car wreck and he's stuck in the little car. It's like it's like the play on the Volkswagen Rabbit, which he was the commercial was for. He then in a movie about EMTs and firemen, or a TV show about EMTs and firemen, he gets in a car wreck in that little car and they can't get him out because he's so big. And they're like, hey, he's pretty good at that, you know? So then he makes a movie, you know, Conan the Destroyer. He actually makes a movie to prove he could do it. You know, that's how Wilt was.
Yeah. No, it is funny. Like, whether it's basketball or anything, and people have said that Wilt Chamberlain is the Paul Bunyan of the NBA, but a lot of people would look at these figures of the past, if you want to call them historical figures or superstars or whatever realm they fall in, and they think of these people like they're their dad in like a common way. Like, my dad could beat your dad up, or my dad is, you know, the childhood approach to look at these people and not understand that they were just people in the at the bottom of it all, and they're just like you and me, and whatever they did is like you said, they didn't all do it at the same time. Even the most exceptional people aren't superheroes. You can be pretty darn close to it, but you're not doing, you know, you're not Paul Bunyan, or you're not, you know.
They try and make them mythical heroes.
Yeah.
The hero version.
Yeah, even with Michael Jordan, a lot of people would try to lump Michael Jordan in for being super athletic. Not that he wasn't later on in his career, and then being a winner. And they didn't really entirely, you know, to the extremes of it all. They didn't happen at the same time. So when he was super athletic, doing all the crazy things, the really high scoring, then, you know, that was a whole different, in a way, Michael Jordan. It's not like he was doing everything at the same time.
Yeah, and the thing is that's what the biggest problem with fans is. Fans do not respect coaching and management at all. They don't understand it. They don't find it relevant, and they don't comprehend the impact that coaching has. Okay, the coach, when Jordan was averaging 37 a game, that was a coaching decision.
Yeah.
Okay, when Wilt averaged 50, it was a coaching and management decision. You know, the coach runs the team. You know.
Yeah.
And especially if your coach is Bill Jackson, okay. And the thing about it is, like, Craig Hodges had a great thing talking about Jordan, where another former player made a comment in one of those podcast setups that Jordan ran the Bulls, you know, and Hodges jumped in and said, whoa, 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 whoa. No, he did not. No, he did not. Said, as far as the locker room was concerned, Jordan ran the locker room. He was the main player. He was the alpha dog. Everyone knew it. He set the tone and everybody followed in line. And if he didn't, he wanted you gone. Said, but when it came to team decisions, Phil Jackson ran the team, and Jordan fell in line just like everyone else. And that's very important for fans to understand. is, that's why I don't give total credence to individual numbers in statistics, because they happen because that's what the coach wants to happen. When people say about Allen Iverson, he shoots too much, blah, 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 and all that. It's like he shoots exactly as many times as the coach wants him to shoot. Because the coach would pull him out of the game, and if you knew Larry Brown would pull him out of the game.
Yeah, and just like anything, or anyone that's been on any sort of part of a team or some sort of, or even if it's business in a company, especially if you have a super talented team, a lot of the times people can do anything, but you got to do what's the most effective for your team. So you may have somebody, like, just to put it out there, the famous guys that could more or less do anything. You could say Michael Jordan or LeBron James or Larry Bird or something like that. They can do anything, but they can't do everything. So the way that they contributed to the team's winning is what was designed, or however you want the plan, for when they were playing by their coaches and their staff. And yeah, because they got 30 points per game or whatever it was, where he become the all-time leading scorer, it doesn't mean that other people weren't capable of that, or when they were put in different situations that their stats didn't change, because they did.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's one of those things when people, when they want to compare players, like they want to compare Shaq to Wilt, or LeBron to Jordan, or the LeBron to Magic. If I have to put, I equate LeBron and Oscar myself. But like with Magic, one of the biggest knocks that they'll make against LeBron is he's the all-time leader in turnovers. And it always cracks me up because, Allen Iverson, James Harden, Magic Johnson, they all averaged more turnovers per game than LeBron does. But their careers didn't last as long, or have not lasted as long.
Yeah.
But Westbrook, all of them average more turnovers than LeBron. But LeBron has played for 23 years, so he's the all-time leader in turnovers, and people will use it as a knock. It's like, okay, well, in 82, people think of, like, when you say Magic Johnson, you tell me, what is Magic Johnson?
Magic Johnson, the role that he played, primarily, famously throughout his career, was if you want to say it, a pass-first point guard.
Yeah, but yet their first championship and their first two finals, he was not the starting point guard.
Yes.
Norm Nixon was, and Norm Nixon was an all-star.
Yeah.
And in fact, in 1982, if you look at the Western Conference Finals, you could argue that the only reason they got to the finals was because of Norm Nixon.
Yeah.
Then Norm Nixon got hurt in the finals, and Magic took over as the full-time point guard. And he finished that series with 17 turnovers in the final two games.
Yeah.
And they lost. Not 82. Is that 83?
83. I thought Norm Nixon was gone by 83, or at least that he was starting.
But it was the finals where Norm Nixon got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And Magic took over the series as full-time point guard. No more all-star Norm Nixon. Just Magic. And one game he had 8 turnovers, and the other one he had 9. You hear anyone mentioning that when they talk about, okay, who's the greatest point guard of all time? Oh, it's Magic. It's obviously Magic. Magic was on a whole different level. Okay, well, the dude in the finals had back-to-back 8 and 9 turnover games in the deciding games.
No, he was still on the Lakers in '83, so he left in '84
Yeah, so it was
to
the '83
San
finals
Diego,
when they got swept by Philly.
Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the faux. But but no one mentions that, and he averaged way more turnovers than LeBron. But because of the HIV diagnosis, he didn't play nearly as long, so he didn't rack up that many, turnovers. He still racked them up, but not the all-time leader in turnovers. But on a per-game basis, he's way over LeBron.
Yeah.
But no one wants to mention it. You'll have guys praise Magic and slam LeBron and bring up LeBron's turnovers, completely unaware that Magic averaged way more turnovers than LeBron.
Yeah.
But that's what fanboys do. I'm not a fan. I don't care about any of them.
The situation circumstance is prevalent throughout what I'm going to ask next. But what do you find more impressive if you had to choose one? And we just had the discussion about it. It depends part of this because of how your team is being played and how they want to employ you. But what do you think is more telling of somebody's capability across their career statistically? Is it their total points, or is it their points on average, or points per game, or in respect to whatever statistic?
Well, I sent you a short yesterday, and
Yeah.
I posted it on my channel right before we came on, where it basically explains the reality of how you make the NBA. The NBA coaches, elite coaches, don't look at per game averages or career averages, because when they're looking at you as a possible fit for their team, they already have your role in their head. Because it's guaranteed contracts, they have to spend millions of dollars on you before you even pick up a ball and put on their uniform. So they already have your role planned out. And it's more than likely not going to be the role or situation that you're in at your present team or past team.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't look at that. What they look at is your ability to contribute to winning without scoring the ball yourself. Because everyone in the NBA can score the ball. Everyone. Every one of them. The worst guy in the NBA could go to any amateur men's league and average 70 a game.
Yeah.
Any of them. Some will do it off pure ball skill talent, like a Kyrie or a Steph. Some off brute force and athletic ability, like a Shaq. They'll score any different way, but that's why basketball is such a fantastic game. But they'll get theirs. Everyone in the NBA can get theirs. How do you fit into the team is what the coach wants to know. So that's what they want to see. Elite level coaching want players that can make plays when it's needed. They'll come up with the steal. They'll get the block. They'll, score the point, the hard point, get the offensive rebound. That they can do these things under pressure and contest it. That's what coaches want to see. They don't care about past points per game or whatever the stat is, because you're not with that team anymore. You're coming to us. You're going to play the role I want you to play, and this is what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
But they don't care about those stats. Like when Dantley got traded from Utah to Detroit, he had averaged over the previous 4 years in Utah, he was averaging 30 points a game. What Wilt and Jordan averaged for their career, that's what Dantley was averaging over the last 4 years in Utah.
Yeah.
Did Detroit expect him to come into the Bad Boys and average with their style of play and the future Hall of Fame players that they had on the roster? Were they expecting him to walk in and average 30 a game? No.
No.
Absolutely not. But they needed scoring from the small forward position. Early in the 80s, they had Terry Tyler, they had John Long, who were both small forward scorers, very athletic. They were aging out. I think they both ended up going in the expansion drafts to expansion teams. So they needed someone at the small forward spot, and they wanted someone offensive minded. They had a bunch of defensive players. They needed someone in the front court that could take the scoring load off of Isaiah. You got to have a back court scorer and a front court scorer. Everyone knows this. And they were able to get Dantley because Utah had drafted Karl Malone. So they got Dantley. But were they expecting Dantley to lead the league in scoring, playing for them with their style of basketball? Of course not. They never anticipated that. That was never so. That's not how pro or elite level coaches look at the game. They don't look at stats. Not like that. Stats tell you the past. They don't tell you the future. If they did, everyone would just look at the stat book and then make $1 million bets. Doesn't work that way.
No, yeah. Point taken. I know you didn't actually. You gave the answer of how you think of it, but a non-answer to the question. But that is okay.
Well, what was it?
What do you find if I said barring situation, circumstance, and what do you find more telling of somebody's capability, total stats or per game stats?
Neither one.
Yeah.
You can't just look at stats. That's what I was just saying.
No, I know.
Look at result. What was the result? Because everyone has the same goal.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. We do have somebody in here, and they say best viewers on streamboo.com remove the space at 3MRTN51Q from predominant Muslim Texas forward wizard something. I don't know.
I had no idea what any of that means.
Means nothing. They're just it's somebody spamming the show, trying to get us to, or trying to get me to go and use some code on some website that probably is not good. The for the two people that are watching tomorrow, we are potentially going to have NMB Sports on the show. Topic to be determined. So that is something that's exciting. I've asked Nick to join the show multiple times. Sometimes I've not, just because he typically says no, he's got stuff going on. He is a wiffle ball champion in his area. He likes to do that on the weekends, let alone other things that's got going on outside of the internet.
Yeah, but he's in the Wiffle Ball Hall of Fame as a contributor.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you haven't checked out his channel, then check out NMB Sports. There's this too with the eyeball that says 2 people are watching, that number is wrong. There's actually 200 people watching right now. I actually thought about the universe galaxy yesterday, and I went to see if he was live. He wasn't. I don't know if he goes live anymore.
No
I don't
idea.
really pay. Yeah, I don't really pay attention. Um, but I thought it'd be I thought it'd be funny to tell him that I lost my channel and then hear him curse me out about it. I thought it'd be funny if I did that. If I called in and just hear what he had to say about it, because I'm
Well,
sure he wouldn't be a human being. He would just be him and yell about it.
well, he on my recommended. I do keep getting philosophical questions that he posts, and I answer them.
Just the world flat kind of stuff that he puts out.
No, a couple of them are actually serious, like contemplative questions. He does throw the curveball in there like that,
Hmm.
but the last couple have been legitimate, like deep thinking questions.
Yeah.
So I do respond to those. Yep.
Yeah.
But no,
Um,
that's the thing with getting back to Wilt is that I blame David Stern for the vast majority of this by not preserving the old game tapes, so future generations can see what guys were in. They'd better understand that whole game evolves BS is entirely that, just BS. Now players evolve rather. A game can evolve. Obviously, the rules and the play of a game, but the participants, the human beings, do not evolve over decades. The guys that played in the 50s, 60s were just as athletic as the guys today, but the rules of the day and the equipment did not allow them to exhibit it. Case in point, you got all these basketball players today that are supposedly can jump so high and do all this. Okay, well, why aren't they on track teams proving how athletic they are? Go out and win a high jump or a long jump championship just so they can talk smack, so they can prove. Why don't they do it? Players of the 60s and 70s did. 50s, 60s, and 70s. Bobby Jones and Bob McAdoo, 2 years in a row, contested each other for the North Carolina high school high jump championship. They're both in the Naismith Hall of Fame. There's actually, that I know of, at least 6 high school and college track and field champions that are in the Basketball Hall of Fame. And they're all from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. It's like they just, it's what they want to believe. They want to believe that this is the greatest era, that guys in the past, they didn't have skill and all that. It's like, of course, you're going to sit here and try and tell me that Bob Cousy couldn't dribble with his left hand. You're seriously going to try and say that?
yeah.
Seriously? I mean,
Well, we have
yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. We have the aircraft carrier here. It was not one of the 2 people. I should have known that because typically the aircraft carrier comments. But for the 3 people that are watching, please call in. Please, for the love of God,
He's
call
tired
in.
of talking to me.
Let's
Someone else in here.
let's have a conversation. For the 2 people that were watching, otherwise,
Or give us
thank you for watching. Yeah, put something in the comments if you don't want to call in. The aircraft carrier was talking about the capability, which we talked at the beginning of the show, of Wilt Chamberlain's vertical leap, being able to even do that in Chuck Taylor's, just in general.
Well, as my doctor told me, because I started off as a high jumper and long jumper. It's not the jumping that tears up your joints. It's the landing.
Yeah.
And he said, that's why I should stick to track and field and not play basketball. Because in track and field, they specifically have soft landing services for you purely for that purpose.
Yeah.
When you high jump, you land on a giant mat, giant bag. And then obviously you land in sand when you do the long jump or triple jump. In basketball, you land on hardwood. It literally has the name hard in the title. And if you play outdoors, then you're landing on asphalt or concrete. So that's a bit. And the thing is that the players that were smart enough not to destroy their bodies and not to rely on their jumping, now 30, 40, 50 years later are being called unathletic because they were intelligent enough not to destroy their body.
Yeah.
That's the hilarious part.
I did the high jump and the long jump a little bit when I was in middle school. I did it when I was in 8th grade. I made it, and I had no technique as a high jumper. I wasn't a great long jumper. I was a decent high jumper for not having any technique. I would essentially I would essentially do what Bill Russell did, except at the very low level of it. But it got me far enough to get to my conference's tournament. It was some sort of tournament that they had. Yeah, I didn't do very well in that one, but
I do not remember my long jump numbers. I'm totally blank on that. The kid I used to go against, hysterically enough, is actually the track coach at ECU up the street, about an hour and a half from me. Kid I grew up with.
Cool.
That me and him used to go against each other back in those days. And then I went to basketball. He stayed with track and field, obviously. He's a college coach for it. But I remember my high jump was 5'8". And I came in third behind Chris McReynolds and Doug Mumal.
Yeah.
I got the bronze. I remember that, but I do not remember my long jump numbers or my broad jump numbers, which back when I was in elementary, middle school, broad jump was an actual thing. Do I consider Mac McClung as the greatest dunker of all time? Just as a dunker? No. Jordan Kilgannon. No one can touch that guy. No one.
Oh yeah, he's fun to watch.
Of everyone else.
Yeah.
And Mac McClung is obviously way up there. He's absolutely phenomenal with what he can do. The difference with Mac McClung is he is an elite dunker in the world of dunking, which I honestly believe should be an Olympic sport.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It would be phenomenal, wouldn't it? I mean, you got to have the grace, athleticism, raw strength. What is more of an Olympic event than dunking? Honestly.
It's gymnastics with a ball.
Well, they have that. Girls have that. They've got gymnastics where they literally use a ball. Let's do something with track and field with a ball, right?
Yeah.
But Matt McClung is the best definition of an elite dunker who is also an elite basketball player right now.
Yeah.
But as purely a dunker, no. Jordan Kilgannon is far above anyone else. No one's even in his stratosphere.
Did you see that one dunk where, I mean, he does all this weird stuff, but did you see the two-handed behind the back dunk that he did?
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
just
that's
watching
crazy.
one of his things, one of his compilation videos early this morning.
Hmm.
He's invented like 280 or 290 dunks.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
He said not even Vince Carter.
Well, Vince Carter is like 47 years old or so no.
Yeah. Well, he said the dunker. He said the greatest dunker of all time.
Yeah, but
So
he's referring to my response that right now Mac McClung is the greatest at both. He's an elite level basketball player. Still believe he's still in the G League, so he's in the top 1,000 basketball players in the world, and he's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in dunking.
yeah,
So he mentioned Matt McClung, and I said, no, I don't consider him the best dunker ever. But if you combine basketball ability and dunking, he's the best right now when you
yeah,
combine both.
yeah. The dunk contest was kind of weird because I think of recent years, it's really just kind of gone overboard with a
Because
lot
they
of the
don't know how to do
props.
it. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
if they did it with an Olympic style format where they actually treat it like an Olympic event and score it like an Olympic event, it'll be much better. And instead of using NBA players who don't want to embarrass their brand or take a chance on getting hurt because then they lose their lottery ticket in life, each team, just as they have a G League team, just as they have a dance team, just as they have cheerleader team, they should have dunk teams. And at halftime of every NBA game, you should have the LA Lakers team dunkers playing the Denver Nuggets team dunkers at halftime of the game and record theirs to have an actual league for that. That is the
yeah, that'd
smartest
be pretty
thing the
cool.
NBA could do.
Yeah, it kills two birds with one stone. In respect to keeping people engaged during the halftime show, and then
Well,
having
you'll
something
actually
else you can
have
follow up
players.
with. Yeah,
You'll actually have teams that are rock bottom, horrible, last place in their division might still get a sellout purely because of the dunking competition that's going on at halftime.
yep, absolutely.
It would be the most brilliant. In fact, I feel like sending this to the NBA offices. You need to do this. Make dunking a professional sport. Take it now before it does it on its own. Take it now, make it part of the NBA, have professional dunkers, 3-man teams, 5-man teams, whatever y'all feel is appropriate with the talent level that's out there. Put them in your uniform, have actual league competitions at halftime of your home games, and create another money stream and
Yeah,
increase your clicks by twofold. You'll double the online clicks if you do that. And of
my
course,
my
Gordon
question.
Kilgannon will be the highest paid dunker in the history of the world because every team will try and get him.
Yeah, my question is this: have you seen a dunk contest live? I'm trying to figure out how interesting it would be when it's not on TV. I
Any
would think
dunk
that
contest or like an NBA type?
an NBA caliber dunk contest, something that's
Yeah.
you know,
It was the
yeah,
best thing about the Magic Johnson's Summer Night Spectacular, his charity game.
hmm
I used to go to it all the time at the Capitol Center. And after the charity game, they'd have a 3-point shootout and a dunk contest. Daryl Valentine won the 3-point shootout. I believe he beat Spud Webb in the finals. And then the dunk contest, Spud was not in the dunk contest because he had hurt his ankle. And then the dunk contest was won by Cliff Levingston. But it was the
okay,
best part of the thing. It was great because you got to see a dunk contest with guys that were not the all-stars. You got to see, like I said, you got to see what Cliff Livingston went between the legs and dunked in that charity game dunk contest before anyone did it in the NBA dunk contest. We're talking like 1986. Like he had just come out of like Wichita State University.
Yeah.
He was a young guy. And he went between his legs and dunked it backwards. No one had done that in the NBA yet. But Cliff Livingston did it. Just like Wilt when he was we probably should have mentioned this earlier. Wilt, when he was with the Globetrotters, did a thing where he would hit half-court shots and then jump from the free throw line and dunk it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, Will Chamberlain could do those things. He just couldn't land 20,000 women. The aircraft carrier says, I'm not racist, but if Matt McClung was a brother, the dunk contest would be more anticipated. I think Matt McClung is awesome.
Yeah, well, the problem with the dunk contest is not the guys that are in it. It's how they present it is the problem.
Well, I don't all the way disagree. When I see the dunk contest, I want to see the players that play in the dunk contest. That dunk contest. I don't want to see Matt McClung, who they pretend is an NBA player off of technicalities by pulling him up on the team the day before and then sending him back to the G League. But the present,
okay, what do you think about Craig Hodges in the three-point shootout?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Is I want to see the players play and then put their exhibition during All-Star weekend. I want to see real All-Stars of the league. I think that's the whole point of it.
Craig Hodges wasn't even in the NBA the last time he defended his title. He had been cut. He wasn't even on an NBA team. He wasn't even a professional basketball player anymore. But they still let him in because he was defending champion.
I think that's a little different because he was doing it, but I still, more typically, I don't want to see these technicalities pan out where you got a guy that.
No, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The All-Star dunk contest and All-Star three-point shootout should be for the guys that are in the game only.
Yes.
So the rosters that are on the NBA All-Star teams, the guys that show up, put on the uniform, and go out there and get introduced as All-Stars, they should be in the dunk contest and the three-point shootout. That would be literally the NBA All-Star dunk contest, the NBA All-Star shootout. What I'm talking about is when you have so many top players refuse to participate, then let's stop trying to make it something it's not, which is what you're saying. Let's just go ahead and have dunk teams attached to each team. They got dance teams. They've got cheerleader teams. They've got the minor league teams with the G League. Okay, let's have professional dunk teams. And at halftime of each game, the dunk teams go at it. The fans can decide the champion by the noise meter if you want, whatever, however you want to do it. But let's make it what it can be, not try and fit it in a square peg, a round peg into a square hole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not what people want it to be.
Yeah.
So let's stop trying to make it that.
No, I agree. I think there has to be a change. I think you've got a great idea behind it. If LeBron had some courage to participate, I think he would just win just off status. I think I'd still like to see him do it at 40. I know it's going to be, you would have to assume it's going to be less fantastic, but to this comment's point, I think that I think it'd be great to see. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, he's been in a dunk contest. He was in the high school dunk contest one year and won it.
Yeah.
He's smart. You know, he's smart. He keeps a bit of mystery about it. He keeps you talking about it. If he's in it and he wins it, well, okay. Nobody really touts it because he's supposed to win it, right? And then if he's in it and he loses, it can only count against him.
Yeah.
But when you want to talk about dunk contests, and if not dunk contest, but if you want to talk about dunking and NBA players, there's only one NBA player who has jumped from the foul line in an NBA game and dunked it. And that's LeBron, and he did it twice, 10 years apart. Okay?
Yeah.
Jordan Dr. J, they never jumped from the free throw line and dunked it in a game. LeBron has done it twice. He's the only player who has done it, and he did it twice, and he did it a decade apart.
You don't think, just due to the technicalities of it, you don't think Wilt Chamberlain or Bill Russell ever did it because we don't have the film for it?
Well, we know they didn't do it because it just wasn't something that you did back then. I didn't say they couldn't do it. Of course they could do it. We know they could do it. Russell almost did it in college. He jumped from about 2 feet inside the free throw line and hurdled a guy.
Yeah.
Like did the whole Vince, thing going over the guy.
Yeah.
Bill Russell did that on a fast break that he led himself. He grabbed the rebound, went coast to coast, jumped from just inside the free throw line, hurdled a guy, and put the ball in.
That's what the layup,
they
right?
actually made the free throw rule that the shooter can't go over the line until the ball hits the rim because Wilt was dunking his free throws as a freshman at Kansas.
Yeah.
In the intramural games.
Yeah.
So that we know they could. There's a huge portion of guys in the NBA that can jump from the free throw line and dunk, and they always have been. The first guy was back in the 40s. Jim Pollard was the first guy recorded to ever jump from the free throw line and dunk it. Guys have always been able to do it. Mike Conley's dad was an Olympic triple jumper in a celebrity dunk contest. He jumped from outside the free throw line and two-handed it. And he was 5'11". Guys can do it. We know they can do it. But the fact is, the only person who has done it in an actual NBA game is LeBron, and he did it twice.
Okay. Yeah.
See, I'm not a fan. I just give you the straight facts. That's what's happened. You can say, oh, you think LeBron is the best dunker. I didn't say that. That is what happened. Only one guy has done it in an actual game. And until someone else does it, that stands.
Yeah. No, for sure. Aircraft Carrier says, I want to see Zion, Ja Morant, Anthony Edwards in the dunk contest like the old days when superstars participated.
They won't.
And then, yeah. And then he says, Rex, have you heard of James Flight White out of D.C.?
Yeah, from D.C., yes.
What is the deal with James Flight White?
By the way.
He did what?
I used to win dunk contests, by the way.
Yeah.
The Chin Center in Prince William County. It was down by Dumfries. When that place was new, they had dunk contests and three-point shootouts last Sunday of every month. And I won the first 6.
Oh, wow.
Well,
but who is James Flight White?
Playground legend.
Okay.
Huge hands. He was one of those guys, you hear people talk about, well, Jordan's advantage was, see, now they try and say Jordan had the highest vertical ever, which is not true. He didn't. But Jordan could hang. He had this crazy ability that scientists have been trying to prove and disprove for 40 years now, where Jordan, and you've all watched it, you've all seen the highlights, Jordan could hang in the air. He stayed in the air longer than anyone else.
I like to say fly, but yes.
Yeah. And but the thing I was getting to is you have different types of leapers. You have guys at one-footed leaper, two-footed, like Jordan is a one-footed jumper, Drexler's a one-footed jumper, Dominique was a two-footed jumper. You know, you have guys that can reach crazy heights, like when they had a dunk contest once where the basket moved up, and they tried to do it like an Olympic event, like a high jump event, as to who could dunk the highest basket. And Clyde Drexler won it, dunking a basket that was 12 foot 7 inches high. So Drexler could jump higher than Jordan. He could dunk a higher basket. But Drexler didn't hang. He still glide. That's why I got the nickname Glide. You know, but he was like a cannonball going through the air. Him and Kemp, you know, when they jumped, they flew like I mean, they're raw power in their legs. Where Jordan was a graceful, almost ballet-like jumper. He maintained his body control while in the air. A lot of guys, and if you are a jumper, a leaper, then you know what I'm talking about. Some guys, when they jump, their body is stiff because they flex and they strain and they put everything into it, and they're power jumpers. And then you have guys that are leapers, guys that are more like ballet dancers, where the emphasis isn't on the height or the length of the jump, it's on the body control. And they're able to move their bodies while they're in the air, like Dr. J on the reverse layup in the finals against the Lakers, where he goes down the side of the lane, directly down the side of the free throw lane, jumps, and then ends up on the other side of the basket, essentially changing direction 90 degrees in the air. Him, Jordan, they could do that. They were able to manipulate their bodies in the air. Body control. A lot of guys, they can just jump. They just have the raw physical power to just elevate. But in the air, they lose the ability to move freely.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey Rex, I gotta get going. I gotta get some stuff going for my son's end of soccer season bowling party.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah.
You know, I used to be a real good bowler.
Oh, somebody else commented. I gotta hang out for this. It's Rosen Angelo P30. I'm a big street ball fan. I've been watching a lot of YouTube basketball videos, and for me, it's more entertaining than today's NBA. Who was the greatest street ball in the 70s, 60s, or 80s? I love that it's out of order. What do you have to?
Wow. Well, the vast majority of them never played head-to-head, so nothing is definitive. 70s, or I guess he'd actually go into the 80s. Fly Williams.
Okay.
70s. Ooh. 70s is hard, man, because that was like the high time of playground ball. Because see, in the 80s, they started spending money and building gyms. Guys started playing inside in gyms. And when you started doing that, you started bringing out a whole lot of more casual players, you know? And it really lowered things. In the 60s, I'm sorry. And for the 60s, I got to go with Pearl Monroe. '70s is hard though. Maybe Ray Williams. Maybe. I'll go with
What about
Ray Williams, Fly Williams, not related, for the '80s. That's my
what
pick.
about it? Yeah, but and you're talking exclusive street ballers.
What
Well,
do you mean by
you said Earl Monroe. Never mind. I was like, well, what about guys like Dr. J
No, yeah,
or
they're fantastic. Obviously, they're all-time greats at street ball. Absolutely.
yeah,
But street ball's different, okay? Not all rules apply. And it's a smaller court. And you can't rely on outside shooting.
yeah,
You know, Steph Curry would never, ever be considered a playground legend if he exclusively played outdoors. Because I don't care how good a shooter you are, you're not hitting 35-foot shots consistently outside. Especially if, like me, you live at the coast, where it's a 20, 25 mile an hour wind in a different direction every day. But no, there are obviously, and I've told you 1,000 times, if I had to pick a street ball team, I'm taking young Wilt Chamberlain first over anyone.
yeah.
Because in street ball, what are you going to do against young Wilt?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do?
Watch.
Yeah, watch, because you ain't getting on the court. I really wish. I never understood the thing where guys say they're afraid. Like I talked about one time when I first got on YouTube. My one regret is I had a chance to get on the court with Michael Jordan, and I didn't do it because I had to be at work in like a half hour.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. I got to see Lenny Bias, and I got on the court, but he left. So I missed playing with Lenny. But, you know, I got to be on the court with a lot of great players. And then historically, I was always like, yeah, I wish I could have I would love to have been on the court with Jordan. And guys would be like, oh, you'd be afraid to play Jordan. Why would I be afraid to play someone in basketball? I was a basketball player. I was a United States Marine. I'm not afraid of playing Michael Jordan. He might beat me at basketball, but I can tear him up. Because I was an actual Marine. So I'm not afraid of a basketball player. No, I would not have beaten MJ. I wouldn't have even scored on him, but I would have loved the experience of being able to go against him. See, I'm not afraid of basketball players. I'm not afraid of the game. I know the game well enough that I can play competently against anyone when I was young and healthy. I could play against anyone. I'm not beating him. I know that. I'm probably not even score. I might score once purely on the fact that I know his game and he doesn't know mine. So I might be able to get lucky and squeak one in before he goes, oh, okay, that's how you play. Okay. And then I'm shut down and it's over.
Yeah.
But to me, it's all a learning experience. You know, it's like Nate Thurman. Nate Thurman's a Hall of Fame player purely based off his defense, right? Okay.
Yeah.
He said specifically that he developed his style of play as a rookie in the NBA going against Wilt Chamberlain for a year and a half when they were on the same team.
Yeah.
They were both on the San Francisco Warriors. And he said, every day I played against Wilt in practice for a year and a half. And that's what molded my style of play. Because after playing Wilt every day in practice, going against the other NBA centers was easy. And that's what set his marker of what his expectations were. I have one daughter that ended up playing college soccer, winning a national championship as a kid in soccer because she went against her older sister. My oldest was just a scoring machine and was really big and strong for her age. My second daughter in the backyard played against her every day and became an actual national level defender. because she's playing her sister every day, you know?
Hmm.
And it's this, it's the same thing. You can go out on the playground and play in the local rec against guys that are, okay, they might have started on a high school team back in the day. And the best player
Yeah.
you ever played against might have been a guy that played D1 once. I played
Yeah.
against guys that are in a Hall of Fame, and I played against them on a regular basis. So when I go on a court against guys that are actually my talent level, I end up superior purely because I've played against much, much better competition, and I've seen how the best play. I've seen the best. I can go out and play teenagers today, and they struggle because they just can't do anything I haven't seen before. I've seen it all. You're not going to surprise me and get the step on me because I've played against the best. You can't, I'm not the best, but I've played the best. I've seen the best. So when I see you, I know what you have to offer because I've seen better and I've played better.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with my individual skill. It's what I've seen. I'm more knowledgeable. I have a bigger index to pull from. There's no move you can do I haven't seen 1,000 times.
What about the two-hand behind the back dunk from Jordan? I'm not good at saying his last name. Kilgannon.
No, I just saw it this morning. So I've seen it. But you don't play it. You see, when you defend a dunker like that, you don't defend them the same way you defend a jump shooter.
Mm-hmm.
When you defend a dunker, you pick them up early before half court, and you always put your feet between his. Every dunker has the same weakness. Every one of them. They don't like their legs being touched.
Yeah.
So you hit them in the side of the, when you hand check them, you don't hand check their hip, you hand check their thigh.
Mm-hmm.
When they plant their foot, you plant your foot, you kick their foot when it's planted. You put your knee against the side of their knee. You do all these things. You don't, jump shooters, you defend high. If you can get you shoulder them, you nudge them, you forearm them, you push them, you do that stuff. Seen that someone performed the 720 dunk. Yes, Jerry Sir Jamalot Wright of Iowa in 1984, I think. Jerry, nicknamed Sir Jamalot, which was fantastic. Wright, a 6'8" forward out of Iowa. He played with B.J. Armstrong and Ed Horton. The Ed Horton that at one point elbowed me in the mouth and sent my teeth through my bottom lip.
Yeah.
But yeah, knowing how to play the game is much more important than individual skills. That's why I hate AAU and I hate the way coaching has gone, where they have kids practice some move predetermined over and over and over and over again when there's not even a defender on the court. That's not teaching them anything. You have to teach a player how to react to a defensive posture. Teaching them to do a move. That's why I used to always laugh when we'd play games. We'd have free play at the end of the day at basketball camps, where guys at the end of the day, they'd always take what they learned from the coaches and the drills, and they'd go out and we'd just play in the evening after dinner, and everyone would be trying to do the stuff that they had just learned. It's like, okay, well, the guy you're trying to do it against just learned it too. You're not helping yourself. It's not going to work because you're doing a move you just learned against a guy that just learned the same move. And it used to crack me up because I played very unorthodox on purpose. No one knew what I was going to do or how I was going to do something. Because I wouldn't do it the way they showed you in these basketball camps where they'd show 300 kids the same way to do it. And you'd practice it for an hour. It's like, I'm not doing that. It makes you completely predictable. You learn to play the game by playing the game.
I got to bring it back a little bit. I do get scared of playing some people in basketball because of my age, and then because of the physicality.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
trying.
yeah, yeah. No, but that's not scared of playing basketball. You're afraid of the accompanying possible physical injury
Yes.
playing
Yeah.
basketball. You're not afraid to play them in basketball. Like
No.
I actually had people say, "You'd be afraid to play Michael Jordan. He'd destroy you 100-0." And you know what? That would be the most fun I ever had going to 100.
Yeah.
I would not be scared. I would not be intimidated. I would love it because I would learn more in that 100-0 loss than you've learned your entire life playing basketball. Yes, Jerry West was an outrageous freak. He could dunk 8 different ways. He was quick. The thing that people do not give credit to West for, the first year that they recorded steals as an official stat, it was Jerry West's last season. He was 35 years old. He led the NBA in steals in his last year as a 35-year-old. What if they would have had the steal? What if they would have kept track of the steals his whole career? What do you think he was averaging when he was 25 or 26? They literally started counting him his last year, and he led the NBA.
Aircraft here. I am almost 40 years old. So, and if you can't tell by my avatar picture, that's what a
And
40-year-old looks like.
I thought that was me in your avatar. But
um,
I'm over 57.
yeah, no, but part of it is because I got a family. I gotta take care of them, and part of my job requires me to be physically fit or able at the very least. So, and I've had, yeah, getting old is a gift. It is that's true.
Yeah,
The
it keeps giving because you just keep getting older.
No, but I've had some, especially I've had some chronic injuries, and then just these young guys playing basketball. It's always a world championship for them, and it's just I had some guy run over my leg as I was trying to box him out from getting to out of bounds. A ball that was about to go out of bounds. I was just blocking him out. And he ran over my leg, and it's like, dude, I have to walk around. I need to be able to use my leg after this game at lunch. But anyway, yeah, no, it's particularly the younger people. They'll try to get physical with you. I was playing a game against a guy who wasn't that young. He was around 33. I'm not saying that that's old, but he dropped his shoulder and ran into my chest, and I called it out to him. I was like, yeah, you fouled me. And he said, oh no, I saw on Google. I Googled it last night, and they said that it's not a foul. And I'm like, so this guy just kept running his body, and he kept shouldering me as I was staying still, and trying to get some more space. Anyway, stuff like that. It's like I don't want to. I'm not trying to get beat up playing basketball. I'm just trying to play a casual game where I'm running a lot. I'm a big guy. I weigh 260-ish pounds right now. So, like, I can put my weight on people and rough them up, and if I wanted to hurt them, but I don't even try to use my weight at all because I'm not trying to hurt anyone out there. I'm just trying to run. I mean, what's your thoughts on that, Rex? What about the physicality in casual games? I know that you're a balls to the wall kind of guy with basketball, or at least you were when you were younger. But a casual pickup game where there's there's not particularly anything on the line, do you think it's fair to want to preserve your health?
No, I tell guys right from the start.
Yeah,
I got a job. I got 5 kids. I'm not out here like it's the NBA Finals, guys. If y'all want to play that way, then I'll just shoot at the other end. That's cool. No problem. I've already had my glory. I don't need it here.
yeah,
Like so many times I'll get out on a court and I just do that. I just stay in my lane, you know. It's like I'm just going to make a couple slick passes, you know, bring the ball up again if they try and press us or something like that. I'll hit 1 or 2 shots. And other than that, I'm just out here to get my run in, you know, sweat a little. And then somebody will start running their mouth. Somebody will start talking trash, blah, blah, blah. You always get that. Or somebody will know who I am and say, hey, you know, that guy played pro way back when. And they'll say, no, he didn't. And they'll start challenging me, call me a liar, all that stuff. And I'll be like, okay, you know what? Yep, I'm a liar. Okay, whatever. It doesn't change history if you don't believe it. I don't care. I'm just out here to stay in my lane and do my thing. I'm not going to get in a grudge match one-on-one with some dude just to prove that I can smoke him because I know I can smoke him.
yeah,
No interest in that at all.
yeah.
Don't need to. Catch me 20 years ago. Or actually 26 years ago. It's still written in stone. December 17th, 1999.
The last day you dunked?
Last day I dunked.
Yeah.
And the reason why it was such a big thing was because I didn't dunk for about 5 years before that. Well, no more than 5. 6 years before that because I'm a disabled veteran from the Gulf War. So the same way I've just spent 6 years coming back from a broken back, back then I was trying to get back after getting injured in the Gulf War. And I was able to get back and get a dunk, and I considered myself all the way back at that point.
Yeah. 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 I feel like I get injured just trying to pick something up off the ground nowadays.
I actually did that with my back. Like, I'm healthy again. My cardiovascular is fantastic. But I'm still a 57-year-old recovering, 6 years removed from severe COVID and a broken back at the same time. So
Yeah.
I can still do ultra endurance races. I did a marathon with my son last month. I can still do those things, but it doesn't mean I can go out and play tackle football with guys down at the park. I still have to be very selective with what I try and do.
Yeah.
Like I haven't tried to get on a basketball court because what specifically really kills my lower back is the impact of landing after jumping. So I can't do a jump shot. I can't contest rebounds. I still know how to play the game. I can still dribble. I can still shoot. I can do left-handed threes. Or I can do all that stuff. But doing it against somebody under pressure, I can still seriously hurt my back again. So I can't do that type of stuff anymore. I can go out and show off just standing there on a court. I can sit there and still hit everything, and I can do all the dribbling drills, and I can do all that stuff. But then you put someone on me and say, do it in a game. Well, I can't do that because I can't take a chance on hurting my back.
Yeah.
I can't take the physicality. And that's just something that goes with it. No one, you've never heard in your life someone say, well, I used to have a bad back. It's something that once you have it, it's there. Now you can you can rehabilitate and you can get back healthy again and you can have a normal life, which is the point I'm at now. But you're never going to be able to do the stuff you used to do.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I
sure.
take 2 months off every year from my job because I got a very physical job, 12, 13-hour days working outdoors. So then when I get, we get past Halloween, I stop working until New Year's because my body has to recover, because 10 months of doing that kind of work at my age and with my past injuries, it just beats the heck out of me.
For sure. But hey, yeah, I'm gonna go on my headset. I've transitioned from doing this on the computer to doing this on my phone. So now, instead of sitting up, I'm lounging around like a Roman emperor, eating cheese and crackers in the morning or something like that. We're doing this show. But anyway, the battery's about to die, and I gotta get my day going. But it was fun as usual. Aircraft carrier. We're gonna have NMB Sports on tomorrow, or that's what we're anticipating. Subject to be determined. Is there something you'd like to hear us talk about?
Well, what I want to have happen is aircraft carrier to actually come on the show and be a regular with us on screen.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
He has the best comments. He's our only consistent viewer. And he generally asks real questions, not fanboy questions. So
Yeah.
it would be awesome if we could just have like a triumvirate here of the three of us talking, like each of us bring a topic for the day. And we just have a roundtable discussion amongst the three of us about 3 separate basketball-related topics that could be anywhere on the gamut, anywhere on the spectrum. I think that'd be a great way to go forward with this. But he has to say yes.
He says, I'm intimidated by Rex's wisdom to be on the panel.
No. It's not about that. Are you scared of your teachers? Are you scared of your teachers in school? Professors in college? No, they're the people you go to find out a different perspective. That's all I present.
Well, this is something too, and I'm not saying that you're completely guilty of this, aircraft carrier, doing this wittingly, but a lot of people want to have however you want to put it, a measuring contest, of who knows more about basketball, and whatever, if you or anything in life. A lot of people want to have a measuring contest. Well, who's better, who's smarter, or in respect to what I'm talking about, who's bigger. It doesn't matter, especially with this kind of stuff. Just talk about basketball. But
that's the whole reason why I'm on YouTube there, brother, is just to spread the knowledge. Because when I first got on YouTube, I still had my trucks and I was on the road all the time. And my daughters got it all, did a YouTube thing for me and all that. And I got on and I just started, and I just noticed all of the incorrect statements being said. And I just had to start jumping in and say, well, no, that's not true. This is what it was. And then it's, oh, well, you're just a fan of that guy or this guy or the other. And it's like, no, I'm not a fan at all. Like someone earlier was saying on a comment section about Wilt when I was advertising this show, was saying Wilt led the league in assists twice. And I said, no, he led the league in assists once. Doesn't mean I don't like Wilt. Doesn't mean I got anything against. I'm just setting you straight. I'm just saying, no, he only did it once. Just so you know, going forward, if you're going to debate these things, the truth is he led the league in assists once. And then he mentioned how Wilt was the MVP of International Volleyball All-Star Game. Yes, he was. But what I said Wilt is in the Volleyball Hall of Fame as a contributor. He was not inducted as a player like Karch Karai or one of them. He was inducted as a contributor. That's a fact. This person tried to take it that I said Wilt wasn't actually great at volleyball. No, I didn't say that. I just said it, a true fact. He is inducted as a contributor. Not as a player. Don't think like he was like Jim Brown of volleyball. He wasn't, okay? He was a great player, obviously. He proved it. But he's inducted as a contributor.
He wasn't the Wilt Chamberlain of volleyball?
Wilt Chamberlain is the Wilt Chamberlain of everything. He was a true Renaissance man. He was a singer. He released 2 singles. I have them on my channel. You can listen to them. He released 2 singles because he was a DJ at Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
He was a DJ on the local radio station, and he could sing. And he cut 2 not albums, but 2 records, 2 singles, 2 songs. I have them on my channel. You can listen to them. He could sing. He could do anything. There is nothing Wilt could not do.
Yeah. But Aircraft Carrier should come on sometime. We're trying to have Nick on. He's just, I guess, got more of a life than me and Rex.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't. He's always saying he's got something going on, but I don't know.
He also lives in a major metropolis.
Yeah.
There's many more things to do.
Yeah. I also. Yeah. I try to fill my day up.
As a last thing to say, let me just put out there, and then I'm done, and I have to now go too. But my final words are Clippers doing Clippers things. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I can't believe they fired, or however you want to put it, released Chris Paul. Like, why even bring him up? Why even bring him if you're not gonna?
I actually have a theory as to what's going on, but I think I might be giving Ballmer and the Clippers too much credit. But he and Lou do not get along from day one. They've never gotten along. They do not like each other.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the season, Lou is gone, and they're going to hire Paul as head coach.
That'd be interesting. Yeah. Do you think they'd want to risk because Lou is a proven championship coach? Do you think that they'd be willing to do that? Or I know there's the publicity and the money behind it for people wanting to see him play in person, but do you think they'd be willing to do that?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's my hunch. That's what I would like to see as the reason for why they did what they did. That they actually let him go now, but behind the scenes, they're like, Chris, we're going to release you as a player to separate the two of you because this is not working going forward. But we are not done with you. Not by a long shot. You have a future here. Because they specifically said in the press release about his future.
Yeah.
So there are conversations being held. I'm just hoping that is why they did what they did. Then when we get to the end point, it'll make sense. Otherwise, none of this is making sense. But I think I may just be giving them too much credit because they're the Clippers.
I think you are giving them too much credit. It'd be cool, but I just don't. Yeah, it's just to go through the whole rigmarole or whatever of, oh, he's coming back to the Clippers and it's going to be, his retirement tour more or less, and then release him. It's just kind of ridiculous.
Well, if there are issues, and there seems to have been issues in the locker room, there's a clip that got posted today or last night of training camp.
Okay.
Where Lou is talking to Harden, or CP3 says something to Harden, who's running a drill with the team on the court. And Harden takes Paul's evaluation to Coach Lou, and Coach Lou literally says on camera, F Chris Paul.
Yeah.
It's my play. I'm the one that. So, but I blame the coach for that. You're the man in the room. You're the leader. Even if you completely believe and completely think F Chris Paul, You don't say it out loud in front of the whole team. Not if you're the
Yeah.
coach. Other
Yeah.
players say that about another player. Okay, that's a player thing. But if you're the head coach, you can't be saying that against any player, especially a guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
These are billion-dollar companies. You're the chief operating officer of a billion-dollar company if you're an NBA head coach. You can't be saying stuff like that in front of the team. I blame you.
Yeah. It
Players are
definitely.
players.
Yeah.
You know, players are players. They fight for locker room position. You're the coach. Your office isn't in the locker room. You don't drop to locker room talk and locker room antics. You have to be the man in the room.
I don't know when Lou retired, but there might have been a personal thing when maybe they both played against each other and something
I'm
happened.
sure it was. Well, yeah. They actually played in L.A. dressed in the same locker room, I believe, for a time. Paul was at the Clippers. Wasn't Lou with the Lakers?
Yeah, he did play on the Lakers. I just don't know the timeline behind it. I think Chris Paul joined the league in 2005, and then
Was Lou still with the Lakers in 05, or was he gone by 05? I don't know.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
He might have been in Washington. Wasn't he a Wizard about then? I don't know.
Yeah, I know he was on the Wizards too. I'm not familiar right now with the details. I've read his card before. I just don't remember.
Yeah, aircraft carrier. I don't like Chris Paul. It's got nothing to do with
I don't like Chris Paul either.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with life. It's got to do with you knowing your place in the organization. And it's a 17-year-old future 17-year veteran, future Hall of Famers point guard job to critique the plays during training camp to help improve the product on the court. It is not the head coach's job to then respond to that criticism in real time in front of the entire organization on video saying, F him.
Yeah.
All he had to do is say, no, we're going this way with it. We're going to go this way. We may go that way if this doesn't work, but let's go with this first, nail this down. If it's not coming along, then we'll go into that. But I want everyone on a single focus here at first because it's training camp. We got to get this down. That's what I would have said.
Yeah.
And then I would have just said to Chris Paul after practice, man, don't say that stuff on the middle. Just come to me. Say, hey, coach, whisper something in my ear. Let's do this. Let's try this. Don't blurt that out in front of the whole team here. Veterans, rookies, guys trying to make the team. Don't do that. Let's everybody be more professional than that. It's a long season. We got to start off on the right foot.
Yeah.
But it was easier for me. I coach girls, so I didn't have those issues as a coach.
Yeah.
I just had to deal with parents.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely. But hey, Rex, I gotta get going. Aircraft carrier you should call in next time. You don't have to, but it'd be fun.
He shouldn't call in. He should be on the show.
Well, I'm trying to get him to get into the water, Rex. I'm trying to get him to get in the water. I'm trying to get him to get into the water, not dive head first.
He's in the water.
Exactly. He should be. He's got to sail the 7 seas.
Look, we got a Marine, we got a soldier, we need a sailor.
Yeah, but once a Marine, always a Marine, Rex. I'm a Renaissance man.
Oh, okay. All right.
I say. Well, no, it's funny. Like people I work with, I told them, especially since the old channel died, I told them about how far it was going along. And then, anyway, like people think I'm a Renaissance man at work sometimes, but uh, amongst his other weird stuff that I do when it's not as serious. But yeah. Anyway, it was fun, Rex. I hope you have a fantastic day. I will get with Nick and let you know what we'll talk about, or what he's interested in. If you want, or what are you interested in? Since aircraft carrier didn't answer the question about what he wants to hear, unless aircraft carrier wants to answer.
Just something to do with the game.
We'll figure it out. Just trying to get it on here because it's two people up here, up there. It's actually 500. So I just want to let everyone learn what we're going to be talking about next. But yeah.
All right.
But all right, Rex. Me too. Learn the game.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.